go ahead and try example number 3 and see if you guys can do it yourselves, and then come back and check and see if you got the right answer. Go and pause it. Great. For example number 3, we want to be able to cancel the x's, the y's, or the z's twice on the first step. So we have to choose very carefully, because that will depend how big the numbers that we're going to be working with are. So the x's, the y's, or the z's. If you notice, we can actually do the y's or the x's. I think the x's might be easier just because these ones are 2 as well. So I can just multiply by -1 and they'll cancel as well. So I'm going to get the first one and let's say the second one. And I will multiply the top one by -2. And that will become a -2x, and that will cancel with the bottom, with the second one. So let's go and multiply. -2 times x is -2x. -2 times 2 will be -4y. -2z, and multiply gives me -20. The second one will remain the same. If we add them, the x's will cancel. So that will give me -5y plus z is equal to -25. I want to cancel the x's again. So I'm going to grab, you can grab the second one and the third one if you want. I'm going to grab the second one and the third one. And now I'll multiply by -2 once again. So that becomes a -2 and it cancels with a 2x. So that'll be -2x minus 4y minus 2z is equal to -20. I will double check that I multiply correctly. I don't want to get to the very end and get the incorrect answer and having to redo all of my work. So it's always good to be able to double check. That's correct. The third one will stay the same, so it'll be 2x minus 3y minus 5z is equal to 27. The x's cancel once again. Remember, if you cancel the x's on the first one, you need to cancel the x's on the second one. Key thing. So it gives me -7y. That gives me -7z. And it's equal to 7. Too many 7s. 3 7s. Lucky 7s. Step 2. So once we cancel the x's twice, we're going to get those two equations that we ended up with. -5y plus z is equal to -25, and -7y minus 7z is equal to 7. I'm going to cover this up. Let's see. Double check that I rewrote it correctly. You don't want to make any mistakes. I'm going to cover this up, and now we have a problem just like we had before. I want to be able to cancel the y's or the z's, so I'll multiply this one by 7 so I can cancel the z's. That will make it positive 7z, and that will cancel. So let's go and rewrite it. So it gives me -35y's plus 7z is equal to -175. The bottom one stays the same. That cancels. So that's -42y is equal to -168. And it looks like large numbers, but if you notice, I can just divide by 42, divide by -42. The -42 cancels, so y is equal to 4. 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 4 is 16. So y is equal to 4. Now we're going to substitute the value of y into any of these two equations, so substitute. I'm going to substitute into the first equation, or the second one. The first one sounds good. -5 instead of the y will be a 4 plus z is equal to -25. -20 plus z is equal to -25. I'm going to move that 20 to the right. That becomes a positive 20. So z is equal to -5. I finished with step number 2. Step number 3, I'm going to plug those two of them, the z and the y, into any of those three equations. I'm going to select the first equation just because it looks smaller numbers. any of those three equations will give you the same result. So we have x plus 2 instead of the y, we have 8 plus negative 5 is equal to 10. So x plus 16 minus 5 is equal to 10. X plus 11 is equal to 10. Minus 11 on both sides, x is equal to negative 1. So my solution for the x is negative 1, for the y is 4, and for the z is negative 5. Now remember that if you plug in the value of x, y, and z into all three equations, it will give you a true statement. So that's one way, and double check your answer. You can go back and plug in negative 1, 4, negative 5 into each of the equations, and that should give you a true statement.